What else do I need to say about this? Oh, yes. The other thing was that there are some internal dates that we left with Leila as electoral officer to finalize. And then we also spoke about our expectations for the branches and their internal AGM dates. And while I don't have it here in front of me, I have a sneaking suspicion we had set dates for the branch AG. Oh, I do have it. Sorry, I need to turn over the page. Branch and IG elections, and to be announced at AGMs between 6 and 14 September. So we do have to work backwards in terms of the election dates. That is my summary of our previous meeting and the purpose of this meeting. Have I left anything out, anyone? Leila, your mic is off. Are you going to say something?
My mic is not off. Can you hear me?
Yes.
No, my mic is not off.
Oh, all right.
No, I think you've covered everything. I obviously did a couple of things after the meeting, but get through your introductory comments, then I'll update what we did and what we didn't do.
My introductory comments are done. Thank you, Leila.
Okay. Can I speak?
Please go ahead.
The first thing I did was put together a timetable for the elections, which I sent to Rebecca and Anna-Marie for distribution. In that, you see the office bearer dates, and I listed 2 options for branches and interest groups, because we did say in our previous meeting that we'd like to try and align it as far as possible with the office bearers elections. But what I then realized was, and that's why I did an option 2, is there's generally a lot more work involved in getting the stuff up onto Election Runner between receiving nominations and opening the election for branches and interest groups. And I felt I needed a little bit more time there to be built in. So that's why I offered option 2. So maybe one of the first things we need to decide is which dates do we want to go with, and then work from there.
All right. So Anna-Marie, could you display that message from Leila, or could you display that or not?
Yes, I'm just searching for
brilliant.
the email.
No problem. I was asking from an operational point of view, not a willingness point of view. I know you will.
Becca, there we go.
The email was sent on
the 5th of March. Yeah. Leila sent it at 5th of March. She also had load shedding, seeing it was midnight. And
no, she sends emails at that time. They don't just sit in the outbox.
Mine don't even get to the outbox, Leila. When I come sometimes in the morning, I find them all in my taskbar because the day has just been so awful. I sometimes I just get up and go, the hell with all of this. I retire.
Not allowed yet.
Soon, Anna-Marie, I'm counting the days. Okay, colleagues, thank you very much, Anna-Marie. We can see that. Leila, would you like to speak to this?
Anna-Marie, can you just expand it so we can see the whole table? Make it smaller or something.
Okay, let me make it smaller again.
I'm wearing my reading glasses, Anna-Marie, so you don't have to cater for me.
Oh, okay, so I don't have to do it nice and big.
No, you can do it normal and then I will see. But if I have to talk, I have to rip off my glasses because I'm afraid I'm still in the vein stage.
Oh. Okay, there you go.
Mm.
Okay, where we are governed by constitution, you will see constitution and rules, you'll see it's in red on the office bearers column.
Mm-hmm.
So those dates are not flexible because they relate to your AGM date. The ones
Okay,
in
so
black are obviously, you know, you can tell me you don't like that date or you like that date.
okay,
So if
so
you've decided that the AGM is 30th of September, the
mm-hmm.
30th of May is in the Constitution as appointing me as electoral officer. The voters' roll closes on the 31st of May. So anyone who wants to be a candidate or wants to vote in the election has to have renewed membership by the 31st of May.
Mm-hmm.
And the call for nominations has to be out on or before the 30th of June.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I then allowed 4 weeks to receive nominations. So I estimated 30th of July
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
to close nominations. We decided in our meeting that 25th of August was a good
Mm-hmm.
date for candidate debates.
Mm-hmm.
Ballot will then open on the 19th of August.
Mm-hmm.
The ballot closes on the 28th of August at 2 p.m. And obviously,
September.
September, 2 p.m. on the 28th of September. And I obviously have to get the reports complete before the AGM.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Which you will present at the AGM as well, Ella.
Yes.
Mm. So
So,
I have no issue with that at all. The only thought that crossed my mind is that perhaps we should align the 19th of August and the 25th of August in some way, because our colleagues don't read. I know at our last meeting, we said that we would do a big campaign so that they don't vote from the 19th, but I will bet you money that people will vote knowing that it came up, and then afterwards they'll complain and say, why didn't you tell us? But that's an internal, no, not an internal matter, but I think that we should, it's the date that's the challenge. If I remember correctly, the 19th of August is a Thursday, I think. Let me just check. Yeah, 19 August is a Thursday. That was our challenge. And the following week, the 25th, Wednesday, is a middle of the ground date. What does everyone think? Shall we leave it like that? Shall we try to harmonize it? The closer we bring it to the 19th, Layla, the sooner we would need to know from you who the candidates are and that they could be alerted. So that is why we have that
candidates are
gap.
being alerted in the form. There's a tick box in the form to say they must be available for the candidate debate. We didn't put a date in there yet because the date
Right,
wasn't
right,
confirmed. But
right.
we can actually put the date in there.
Mm.
And in the call for nominations, no, you're talking now about
No, you're right, Layla.
when I
Right.
open the ballot,
Yes.
I can have because there's a prologue that I add into that. I can put in there that candidate debates will be held on the 25th of August.
Mm. My question is to the meeting is, should we leave it at 25 August or should we bring it up right up to 19 August when the ballots open? Because as Layla says, the candidates will be alerted to their responsibilities and their obligations at the time of when they complete the form, when the call is issued. Should we wait a week? What are the pros and cons? Rebecca, any thoughts?
I think if Leila is comfortable with this date, and as she's indicating that she will indicate in the form that the candidate debates will be on this date, I think we rather leave it as it is. If Leila is comfortable with the allowance of a week.
Layla, are you comfortable with the state?
It's the candidate debate date is not for me to be comfortable because Expo is going to find somebody to lead those debates. That's not my business at all.
Yeah, that's what
Okay.
you say. You don't know yet.
Exactly.
That email
Sure.
is in my outbox. Anna-Marie, any insights?
Nikki, I don't have a problem with the date. And quite frankly, I can't remember why we decided on the 25th. But I think people that vote between 19 and 25 are probably those that know the candidates already. They don't need to make up their mind. So yeah, I don't really have a problem with the date, but I also don't have a problem with moving it earlier to the Friday, the 20th or something.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I think we felt that it was too soon at our last meeting. It was too soon to have it the day that the nomination, the day that the voting opened, the ballot opening day, and that we go for the middle of the road day, which is a Wednesday. Mondays bring their own challenges one way or another, etc., etc. We felt it needed to be close to the ballot opening day, but not too far away. That is why we ended up there. Fridays bring their own challenges in terms of, for example, mosque or people leaving early, etc., etc., etc. So it's an arbitrary choice of date. Look, I think I'm going to take this to Exco. I don't think it's a big deal. But I do think it warrants thinking about a bit. Instinct says we should have it closer to the ballot date than we have. But there might be some practical considerations that my caffeine-addled brain has not worked through right now. So Leila, we have a bit of time. We can always send that date to you to place on the form in the next while. We're still making good time.
Yes.
Other than that, for national elections, I'm quite comfortable with these dates and I'm happy to sign off on them. Do we need to go through the next? You were talking about an option 2.
Then there's 2 columns for branches and interest groups.
Excuse me, yeah, I see it.
Where the change is the call for nominations. One is the 30th of June and the other one is the 7th of June. So I've brought that sooner. Then closing nominations in the second option is 23rd of June. So that's giving ample time, but it's a shorter time than for national elections. Because I feel we need to know.
All right, but now, from your perspective, you did say branch elections is also labor intensive. So how does column 2 impact on you? Surely that would put more pressure on you?
No, not between the 7th of, that's not me. The 7th of June to the 23rd of June is people nominating other people. I have to receive nominations by the 23rd of June. Where I needed the extra time was between the 23rd of June and the 21st of July. In column 1.
Okay, I see. I do understand.
Yes.
In the first column, you have 20 days. And in the other column, it is 21 and 7, which is 28 days.
Yeah.
So by all means, certainly. Look, Leila, as far as I'm concerned, it's a one-person job. So we want to give you as much time and space to do this rather than it being a rush job, or rather putting pressure on you to rush. So I'm willing to support, or no, I support column 2. Anna-Marie and Mukhadi, do you have any reason why we should consider column 1 of the branches and interest groups?
No reason at all. I also support column 2. I mean, it is 20 structures times 5 or 4 portfolios. So it's so much more work than for the office bearers. So definitely, Leila, take all the time you need.
And it is pulling the whole process far sooner by starting it on the 7th of June. Not waiting for the ending.
Thank you, Mukhadi.
supported. Mm.
All right, so that's done and decided on, colleagues. Right. Thank
Can
you
I
for
just
that.
ask, has the AGM date been confirmed? That's when conference is happening, and that's when the AGM is happening.
It's confirmed as far as we've been talking about it in this forum. We have not had an EXCO meeting since then, and we have, what am I saying? And even if we did, any engagement has been honestly a focus on SA Library Week rather than on anything else. But Nazim and I were together in the last meeting, Leila, and we felt that there was no reason why we can't have it that time. We checked all the obvious potential, all the obvious challenges to that date.
When is
So,
the
And
next
and we also shared with Repco on that special meeting as well.
oh, thank you for reminding me, Rebecca. Leila, what did you ask now?
When is your next expo?
If you had asked us 12 hours ago, the answer would have been in the next 10 days, but it's now in the middle of after Easter.
Yeah.
Tell me what your concern is, Leila. Do you need us to ratify this more
I do
formally?
need the dates because the issue of nomination is 7th of June.
Mm.
And the longer you delay your expo to settle that,
We don't need to make a meal out of this. Rebecca, after this meeting, we will write formally to EXCO proposing that date, and then we will write to RIPCO after that and say we had raised this, but we need your final, we need you to confirm that decision. So Leila, we can get back to you by, well, I want to say Monday, but the way RIPCO doesn't respond, it might be in the next week. We'll get back to you in that regard, okay?
remove option 1 when you send this table, because
Yeah.
I gather that this committee has made the decision on option 2. So you're not going to give EXCO the opportunity to look at option 1.
No, no. And in fact, we already have given RIPCO the dates. We've given them the dates that we've outlined here, such as the nominations are going to start on this date, the ballot is going to open and so on based on our previous discussion. We did indicate that there are internal dates that the electoral officer will bring to the table, and now we will just provide them with the dates that the electoral officer brings to the table. I don't see why there should be debate, because other people are going to say what they don't like the 7th of June, they want the 8th of June. They have no frame of reference, to be frank. So
Yeah, but
we
that's
will
why I'm
please
saying remove option 1,
Yeah.
and you're giving them the
Absolutely.
office bearers,
Yeah.
and you're giving them the option
Yeah.
2 as
Sure.
for branches and interest groups.
Rebecca, I will write to you and with what it is that we need done, please, and then you can manage it for me, please, and then pull in whomever you need so that we
Thanks.
can get back to Leila within a week. Today is the 18th of March, so by next week, the 25th, we would have sent Leila a formal indication of the acceptance of this proposal and the confirmation of AGM and confidence states in the proper order. I realize now that isn't the proper order. Got it? Okay.
Okay.
So thanks for that, Leila. You want to go on to the next thing?
Okay, the next thing is I looked at how, let's talk about the call for nominations, not the forms. Anna Marie, do you have that you can put up?
With my mic unmuted, yes, I will put it up for you.
I could hear you even though your mic was muted. I have superpowers.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I like that.
Please share that superpower, Leila.
No,
It's
you have to pay
interesting.
me for that. I don't give anything for free.
Don't all mamas and grandmamas have that?
Yes.
They have X-ray eyes.
Yes. And ears.
Yes.
I don't deny that, but online, that's what I'm trying to.
Special connection.
Anyway, I've updated this call for nominations
Mm-hmm.
to still tie in with the Constitution and rules, but to indicate that we're using Google Forms.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to know if this is acceptable.
It is acceptable because this is what EXCO asked to be done before we met with you, Leila, our first meeting. So this is, what's the word, ratified, supported by EXCO.
Yeah. And obviously when we do the call for the branches, it's very similar, but it just doesn't have some of the rules and regulations in it. I'll adapt. I've only done so far with the call and the forms for office bearers, because once we get that right, adapting it for branches and interest groups is easier. So I didn't think we should do both in one meeting.
Anna-Marie,
Yeah.
can you just highlight that candidate debates 25 August, please? It's just still sticking in my nose. It's more a visual reminder for me than anything else. Thanks.
And is the Google form missing as the for the last line on that middle column?
Sorry.
Candidates submit their Google forms as required to the electoral officer. The sentence, the paragraph that starts with this year, the nomination process, the last sentence on Google form.
It remains
should
the
be Google.
responsibility of the nominator to ensure that the seconder and the candidate submit a Google form as
Form.
required. You're
Yes,
asking if it should be plural.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe it like that, because if we say forms, then they're going to, oh, it should be plural, Leila.
Yes.
It can be either, because we're asking for forms from different people, but you're asking for
Yes.
one form per person. So that's open to debate. I don't mind if it's.
I think we make it plural for now.
Yeah.
Because I can just see the colleagues. Just see
Or
the
if you just want to be safe, you can put /s.
That's a good point.
And also that we've been coming using the plural anyway with all the other sentence.
Why is that date 27 July when the closing date?
Yeah, obviously, I haven't updated that. That's
right. Sorry. You did say that earlier. Right.
Closing date of 30th July. You can put that in, Anna-Marie, make that edit.
And what the Anna-Marie up
paragraph in the
the
paragraph.
emboldened, just where you put the Google Forms at the end of that sentence.
Yeah. Okay. That's the type of proofreading I need, because when you proofread your own documents, you don't notice those.
One is far too close to it. I find after I write something and I go back a week later after it's published and I read it, I find so many things I could have done differently.
Okay. Anna-Marie, when you can just double check whether these dates match those in the table we looked at earlier.
Absolutely.
I've had a look. Just one question where it says closing of the voters' roll in the table, Anna-Marie, the sequence of the date. Everything else is date month. That is month date.
Okay.
And is voters single or plural?
Apostrophe should be after the S. Yep.
Yeah, it looks fine at first glance. Just
what I did say there, which wasn't in forms before, is about the candidate debates.
Yes.
And I didn't say an EXCO member, I said a representative of the LIASA executive, because you might choose somebody who's not an executive member.
Absolutely, yeah. Or perhaps, representative or designate even. But representative is fine. As long as they don't think that it implies RIPCO or EXCO, we may pull somebody in from the elders or from the youth or all of the above. A brief
You want to say a
CV.
delegated representative?
Yes, yeah.
A delegated representative. An executive must be capital E.
In addition to assistants.
Yeah.
Has to be limited.
Sorry?
I was just going to ask, has to be limited to 200 characters or is limited to 200 characters?
Either way, is perfect. And is limited, not
Yeah.
to be.
So that's kind of no nonsense.
It is limited. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Either Anne-Marie, either line up the timeline for the elections, the sentence immediately above the box, or put a space between that and the, yeah. And then, of course, the font, there are two different fonts. So obviously all of this panel beating will be done afterwards. I know we're talking about content here, not looks. Bukhari,
I was going to
yes?
say at the end of the meeting, everyone needs to read this word for word, because then you know
Yes.
something.
Yes.
And just we can just email each other.
Yeah, the very sentence this year, the nomination process, I think there we refer to electoral officer via email, not the electoral office.
Officer.
Yeah.
If we had
Google Forms has been for the complete. Google Forms will be used for the complete process. Used.
Yes, used.
Google Forms will be used for the complete process, including the CV and election manifesto.
Anne-Marie, just for us to make a little note, maybe we should compile a video on how to nominate and how to complete a nomination form.
Absolutely, we will do that.
And I promise you, my tongue is not in my cheek.
Yeah, no, I know.
I know. There's a double space between those two paragraphs, between 30th of July and the brief CV. Yeah. But please, I'm still asking after this meeting if everyone will just read the whole form.
Leila, what we'll do is we will do a report to, sorry, there's a meter reader outside. We will compile a little report and all the documentation and all the questions that we raised in this meeting and the ratification of the conference dates and AGM dates. We'll present to EXCO for feedback by, as we said, get back to you by next week.
Okay. So if this document is acceptable, we can then look at what, Anne-Marie, you took stuff directly from my forms and put it into Google Forms. Is that correct?
That's correct, yes. So if there are any changes, it's easy just to make those small changes, or I can just recopy and paste.
So shall we look at it now with your Google form rather than my Word form?
Let's do that.
And did you get is your name right now to receive responses? Because I did some mock responses.
Yeah, probably. So I still have the password. So once it's ready, I will hand the entire account over to you and you change the passwords and then you will have access.
But I'm asking you, did you get the responses?
Yes, so there were 2 responses.
Anne-Marie, is there a way that Leila can get these as well now?
No, at the moment, while she's experimenting, it's best just to go to Anne-Marie. We can
Okay,
chat.
fine, fair enough.
Yeah. So once we hand over, we don't have anything to do with it. Yeah.
So let's
So
look.
Leila, yes, 2 responses were received.
Okay. Firstly, this a call for nominations, I don't believe should be embedded in the form. I think this is what goes onto the website, and then you'll click under that to get to the form.
Okay.
Agreed. So Anna-Marie,
So-
we need a LIASA elections page
Perfect.
on my LIASA, please.
And I take it we will be amending this document on Google Forms as well, what we have just been doing the other
So
side.
replace the whole thing on
Yes.
Google Forms
Yeah.
once it's been agreed. But
Yes.
Yeah.
this whole blurb, which is the call for nominations, will be up on the web page. Then to get to the actual form, you'll click under this call to get to the form that you need.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. So we need a LIASA elections page. And this is only for national elections, right?
So far, we're just experimenting with national. Yes.
Yeah. So Anna-Marie, we might need another channel for the branch elections, but that's just
And interest
FYI.
group, yeah.
Yeah, branches and
Yeah.
interest group.
Yeah.
So LIASA election page on my LIASA, and then it will contain the call for nominations.
Yes.
And then we will click on the form on that page.
That's right.
On the page, it's going to ask you that question she's got there about, are you a nominee?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
Are you a this or are you a that?
yes.
Perfect.
So you go here.
Mhm.
Yeah. Are you the nominator, the seconder, or the nominee? Just in terms of language, all of us know what nominee is, but can we put in brackets there the candidate, i.e. the candidate?
I
Agree.
think that's a good idea, Leila, because sometimes even if we know, you first stop there and ask, by the way, nominee and nominator, and so I think it helps.
Doesn't want to do it straight on the form now.
If we rephrase that whole thing with a question to say, if you wish to nominate someone, click here. If you wish to nominate a candidate, click here. If you wish to second a nomination, click here. If you are a candidate or nominee / candidate, click here.
If you have been nominated.
Yeah. Well, I think that's easier than the way this is phrased there.
Agreed, Leila.
Okay. Sure.
Okay. So then you can go into the nominator form. I didn't have a problem with this. I hereby nominate, name and surname was fine. And that was, you had to answer that one. LIASA membership, you may not know the membership number. That's not material, but you had to know the branch. Do you think knowing someone's membership number when you want to nominate them should not also have a red star?
I
Because
do.
if I want to nominate Nikki, surely I've had a discussion with
Exactly.
Nikki, and I'm going to ask Nikki, well, what is your membership number?
Exactly. There needs to
And-
be a show of of involvement. And so they must say, Nikki, do you want to be nominated? And then I go, yes. And then they go, what is your membership number? I think that's the least people can do. If you believe someone should be your president, you should at least try and know their number. Should at least know their number.
And also it actually confirms that the person is also a member already, even before you can check with the office, because we experience quite a lot that you get somebody and the other person agrees to be your nominator, but they are not members. They are not paid up members.
Oh, that will still happen even when they know their number. But anyway. Okay, Anna Marie, did you get that?
Yes, thank you.
You'll
I've
make
made a
that
note.
answer field as well.
Yes, I think in all the forms everywhere.
Yeah. Okay, so go down. You've done the branch and you've done the portfolio. That's fine. The nominator details. Can we put in brackets there, i.e. my details? Because again, people get confused with language. So when I'm filling this in nominator details, I'm thinking like, who the hell is the nominator? Oh, it's my details.
Okay.
Got that, Anna Marie?
Got that, thank you.
Okay, then it's name and surname, my LIASA membership number, my branch. I'm going to say who I'm asking to second this nomination. And I need their LIASA membership number as well.
We'll also star that, yes.
Yes, we'll star that as well. And their branch, that's fine. Now I make my declaration. I have checked that the candidate I've nominated is able to serve LIASA, yes or no. Should we give I know I designed this, but should we give an option for no?
No, I was going to say that if they say no, then they can't proceed with the form.
Okay, so we can do one of two things. We can remove no, that there's only yes, or we can keep the no, and if they click on no, then they just go out.
Well, I don't like going out. It's always a waste of time of typing, and that irritates me, Anna Marie. So either if we keep no, we say you cannot proceed until this question has been satisfied, something along those lines. I think take the no away, to be honest with you. And then don't say I've checked, I confirm. Okay, yeah, I've
I
checked.
confirm is better, you are correct. I
Mm.
confirm that's the candidate I have nominated.
Okay.
And the same with the seconder. I confirm that the seconder I have named is available.
Okay.
And then underneath that, I undertake something or other. I undertake to ensure that the candidate I have nominated completes the online acceptance form, the online candidate acceptance form. I know I drafted and I'm making corrections to my own draft. I apologize.
No, no need to apologize, Leila. We continuously evolve.
And fulfills all obligations contained in the call for nominations and makes him or herself available to participate in the candidate debate.
Mm.
This is what you were asking. You said you saw it in IFLA, but I already had it, Madam President.
What did you say? What did you say, Leila? You didn't what?
I said you were you pointed it out from IFLA's forms, but Madam President, I already had it here.
Yes, I know. I know that LIASA is much better than IFLA. We've always known that. And we've always known why you're the best electoral officer we've ever had.
Oh, God.
May I ask that you scroll a little bit up, Anna Marie? Sorry, I just wanted to double check something. Yeah, again.
Some more?
Yeah, a little bit, I think. Yeah, just there.
What's wrong, Rebecca?
Oh no, there wasn't. I just, my eyes just read kind of duplicate, or not necessarily duplicate, but I didn't read well on the under the details of the person who will be seconding this nomination. I saw the membership, and I also saw the seconder, so I wasn't sure.
Colleagues, should we separate these blocks? So details of the person who will be seconding this nomination, should we put that in a different font color?
I'm not sure if you can do that under the
Okay.
forms. I
Okay.
think there's a bit of a restriction.
Mm.
I can do that. I think that it is on a new page.
No, don't worry, Anna Marie. I was just wondering, we're really trying to dump-proof, excuse my frankness, but we're really trying to dump-proof this form.
Yeah.
But also that also was going to kind of alleviate what I've seen as I was trying to go back. But yeah,
You
Mm.
can name it as sections on the form if it'll stand out better in people's minds. So it's section A, section B, section C,
That
whatever.
might be
Okay.
that might be
yeah,
something to
yeah.
consider.
Mm.
At our last meeting, I have a note here that we have set aside 22 March to 5 April for usability studies. So if this form can be ready in a draft format by next Tuesday,
Yes.
then the EXCO and REPCO, do you think we should pull REPCO into this as well, colleagues? Maybe just a select group of people? Or what do you think? Rebecca?
I think a select group of people,
Mm.
handpicked.
Yeah, okay. We'll send it to EXCO because we know who's going to answer and who's not going to
Yeah.
answer. So
Yeah,
that is.
I agree
Rebecca,
with a handful. Otherwise, Exco can still do it. But yeah,
let's stay with EXCO.
yeah.
Right. So EXCO will test this by people completing it and then sharing any ambiguities that they feel they might encounter, and then we can respond to that accordingly.
Okay.
And then we can see if they make obvious mistakes, like whether or not we need to then sort it out into sections, etc.
This form I managed to fulfill. It worked the way it was supposed to. If I forgot something, it told me. So I practiced with this one and it was fine.
Mm, mm.
Okay.
When I hit the submit button.
Sure. So if when you hit the submit button, what happens? And whether you're going to get a whole lot of error
Now it's
messages.
going to ask you, it
Yeah.
comes back and it tells you that this is a required question. So you can't forget where there was an asterisk.
Mm,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
The
Yeah.
same when I was just scrolling to say I don't want to be a nominator or a seconder or a nominee. It says, but still, please, this is required. So you can't pass the at the beginning.
Exactly.
Colleagues, just a bit of consistency. I see on the screen, it says Leila Wahed, LIASA at UniZulu. On our other form, it still says, I think, Leila at Leila's work address. Excuse me.
But
So we
what does
just,
it say, liasaelections@gmail.com? Is that yours? Oh, okay. I know what that is. Sorry. Take that back. No, on the Liasa at UniZulu, I don't use my personal email address. I've had that email address set up and I
all
still
right.
use it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe my eye just ran across. Okay, got it. Colleagues, so what happens next? Never mind the error messages, right? So I complete this form and then what happens next? Do I get an email to say, you've completed this part of the form? Please ensure that the rest of the form is
No, I didn't
completed.
get an automatic email back, and perhaps that's a good idea. I don't know how that happens.
Yeah. Anna
Um,
Marie, there is a feedback to Google Forms sometimes.
That's right. So first of all, I will set up just a little notice that once you submit that you just get a thank you on the screen.
Yes.
And then I will also see there is a plugin that we can use that would then send yourself and then probably yourself as the person that completed the form, and then probably Leila just a document saying, okay, this is what you said in your form. Okay.
When you do the thank you splash screen after submission here, say, thank you for completing this form, or thank you for nominating, blah, blah, blah. Remember that this process is not yet complete until all the parts have been sent. So just another reinforcement that they have some obligations which they undertook to do in this form.
Yes.
Absolutely, yes.
Good idea.
So it's in their face all the time. They can't say they didn't know.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, so then we can look at the seconder form.
So that will be removed. I suppose over here we'll have to make it clearer. I mean, even though it is there, but maybe just there, just say that it's the seconder form or something.
Absolutely.
Yes, it can't say nomination form right at the top.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, it can, but then we're going to get a whole lot of confusion.
Maybe the heading on all the forms should just say LIASA Office Bearers Election 2021. That should be the main heading. And then in your purple block there, you've got what type of form this is.
Yeah, I think that sounds a little bit better.
Okay.
Okay. So the candidate details is fine. Again, the LIASA membership numbers must be mandatory fields. The branches are fine. Portfolio is fine. Because you have to know when you're seconding a nomination whether I nominated April Fool for which portfolio.
Yeah.
The nominator details. I need to know who nominated the candidate because I'm seconding it. LIASA membership number is mandatory and the branch is mandatory. And again, here we need to put my details.
Okay.
Because people, they don't remember who they are, definitely not. So it's my name, my membership number, my branch, and my declaration. And again, we're taking out the no.
Okay.
And the date is fine. And I did this, I did a second nomination and it worked fine.
Perfect.
Okay. Then we come to the candidate form, which is the one I had a problem with and I could not submit.
Okay.
What do you mean? What was the experience?
When Anna Marie obviously knows this, it's when it comes to the CV and the CV and the election manifesto.
And the bio,
Yeah. So anyway, surname is fine. First name is fine. Known as is optional. And I put the known as because so many people have names that nobody knows. But for an official form, they do need to put their official name on, but known as.
That's a very good point, Leila.
Yeah. Okay, the LIASA membership number, the LIASA branch, the portfolio I've been nominated to, who nominated me, the LIASA membership number, the LIASA branch, and then about myself. Adding the color photograph was not a problem. I did that perfectly. The short bio is fine. But what happens here is it gives me an error message when I go over 200 characters, but it still allows me to carry on typing.
Oh, okay.
But it won't submit the form after that. I don't know if it will submit because I couldn't do the next two things. My abridged CV there where you say there, please check, we can't set the number of words, only the number of characters.
Yes, so I thought that you can then, like you say, set the characters in the previous field. You can say, okay, let's do 500 words, but it only accepts characters. So I think I've set it at 5,000 characters.
I think so, yes. So I couldn't type 5,000 characters for a test, so I didn't have that. Can we just calculate 500 words?
I'm just checking
as
as well.
Approximately 5 characters.
Yeah,
So
I'm checking the same thing.
2,500.
Yeah, Leila,
Mhm.
Generally, 1,000 characters consist of a total of 120 to 180 words, including spaces. You can use this tool. There's a tool for us
Sorry,
to
what
check.
repeat that one?
Generally speaking, 1,000 characters is
1,000
between
characters.
120 and 180 words, depending on depending on the spacing. 1,500 characters. Oh, yeah. The usual metric in English is 5 characters per word. Thus, 6 characters for a word plus a space. So 1,500 characters would come to between 240 and 260 words. So I would imagine 2,000 characters, Anna-Marie.
Oh, I actually said 5,000.
Oh, all right, let me just
Okay.
check it.
And
No
that's too
problem.
many then.
And
Give me a
I,
second.
Yeah.
What is
I just want
5,000 characters in words? How many words is 5,200
You can divide by 6
characters?
because
About
6
six,
characters.
yeah,
So that's
about 650. It
833
depends on
words.
you're right. So it's either 5 words plus a space. So
Yeah.
5,000 divided by
1 by
6,
6 is 833.
700 words. Yeah, you're right.
um
So cancel that. And if we said 3,500 characters,
Okay.
divide by 6 equals 583. So 3,500 characters is fine.
Okay, I will do that.
Because one wants an
I,
even number of characters. I don't want to go and say 3,338. So
Mm.
0.5.
um
so
I hear
3,500 characters sounds reasonable to me. I can accept that.
Yeah.
colleagues, I hear the
Manifesto.
the language we're using,
Mm.
the characters versus the
Mm.
words.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, is it quite clear to people out there when you ask me to put in 5,000 characters, whatever it is, versus when you tell me you need 500 words?
Yeah, yes, certainly we will have to make that more user-friendly,
Mm.
Rebecca. So what did we say for the short professional bio? 200 characters, that's 60 words. No, I'm talking nonsense. 6 into 20 goes once, 6 into 40 goes 3, 4, 5 times, 6 times. That's not a lot of words, Anna-Marie, that's 16 words.
Yeah,
No,
but that
that's
is the
dictated by
limit.
election. That's because the election runner will only allow you that short bio. That's why that is so short. That's why we come back to having a CV and an election manifesto. This does not fall onto the ballot form. This is available on the CV. So when the nominees are put up on the website, Nikki Crowster has been nominated as president. Click here to see her full CV. Click here to see her election manifesto.
Then do we need that block, my short professional bio?
Yes, because that's what I see when I open the ballot form. And I didn't want to be the one who reads the CV to extract those few words.
Absolutely, I'm
Because
with you,
then Nikki
Leila.
can say, you didn't extract the correct professional bio for me.
Well, I still blame you that I'm president, so I agree. We will continue.
Did you not want to be the president?
Colleagues, I think Rebecca's point though is taken, that we have characters and we have words and words. So we should just set the number of words or lines for my short professional bio.
We can't. It has to be characters because that's what.
Oh, I beg your pardon, Leila. I'm sorry. My ears heard you, but my caffeine brain did not synthesize it into common sense. I understand now what you're saying. I hear you. The question then is, to what extent might there be confusion from our colleagues? Maybe we should just ignore that confusion, let them type till they can't type anymore and figure it out themselves. Or a better user experience answer is that we will explain it in the video.
We can explain it up on the website to say
Yes.
a little note about characters versus words when you're using MS Word.
I got you. I'm absolutely with
And
you.
there's a tool that they can use in MS Word to actually do that.
Yes. Yeah.
What
And,
I
and
need to know, because I've never tried to copy and paste from a Word document into Google Forms, can you do that? So if I've typed my abridged CV in Word and I've tweaked it until it's correct, can I copy that and paste it as my answer here?
Yes, you can. You
Then
can.
that's
I copied
perfect.
and pasted a lot of things.
Yeah.
But Leila, if you prefer that we ask them to upload a Word document, we can also do that.
oh,
That's when they don't stick to the word count.
True, yes. Yeah.
They do not stick to the word count. And even though I would give this word count, I got documents of 10, 15, 12 pages.
oh.
Was that you, Nikki?
So I like that it's here like this.
Okay. Okay, so you mathematicians, so just work out the 3,000 for the election manifesto,
That's
or the
1,800
1,800
Yeah.
characters.
for
Okay.
election manifesto.
Perfect. We'll make that change as well.
Okay, then declaration by the nominee.
So again, we will, okay, I see that is.
Somewhere where you had, and I think this is why I couldn't submit this. You said at least, and because I'd only typed one sentence into each of those blocks, it wouldn't send.
Oh, okay.
It must be a maximum of those words, not at least. If I've typed 3 characters as my abridged CV, that's my problem.
Exactly. No, I will check that. Yeah, it should be max. It should not be minimum.
Yeah. It has to be maximum.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And again, there shouldn't be a no there. Otherwise,
yes. Yeah, and that should not be
the squares, because you've got rounds.
Yeah, it should be the radio buttons, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and all the no's will go about here. And here you can put the date of the candidate debate.
Okay.
To participate in the candidate debate on that date.
All right, over there.
Yeah. Otherwise, I think it worked fine. I don't know why we haven't done this in years before. But again, it's where COVID has taught us that we need to think out of the box.
Yep. And it's exciting.
Absolutely.
All these new things, yeah.
You see, this is truly now moving to electronic elections.
Yeah, we're done. We're there.
Electronic elections now. We're there.
Yeah. Definitely.
Over to you, Nikki.
Okay. What more do we need to do or say? I mean,
Anna-Marie will just correct all these forms.
Yes.
And
then,
as soon as she sends it out to us again, 1 or 2 of us need to practice before she then sends it to everybody else.
Okay, if you want to do that. So this group of people has between now and my
Tomorrow.
Tuesday morning. Well, if you want to do it tomorrow, then by all means, and then we can release it.
By the weekend, yeah.
Yeah, we've got the weekend because our usability period is 2 weeks. So, and there's a lot of other things happening, including us getting our money from DSAC. I'm sorry, Leila, which takes precedence even over elections. So Anna-Marie is a bit tied up today. Anna-Marie, if you get it done by tomorrow, end of day, then that'll be great. If you get it done sooner, but no pressure. If we could have it by 9 o'clock on Tuesday morning or 10 o'clock on Tuesday morning, that would be great, please. And then we could have a look on that day. We take it as part of our usability week. But Anna-Marie, I don't have to tell you, getting that contract signed is our priority.
Absolutely.
No, I accept that. That's fine.
Thanks so much, Leila, for everything. You must admit you're having fun.
I am.
And besides, we get to bash LIASA members for free.
Yeah.
Okay, so colleagues, is that it for our meeting? Is there anything else we need to talk about elections, Ms. Electoral Officer?
No. What I will do now is, because basically this has been agreed more or less, I will now draft call for nominations and forms for the branch and interest groups elections. I'll play with that so that we've got that intact before we have our next meeting.
Yeah, and I think sure. And our next meeting will be after 5 April, which happens to be the Easter week. So probably, Rebecca, in the week of the 12th of April, we can regroup. And we can then, I would imagine, Leila, finalize this.
Yeah. I'm just looking at my diary. Sorry, which week were we talking about? 12th.
The week after Easter, which I think is the 12th of April or the 11th of April. March, April.
That's a bit of a hectic week for me.
No problem. We can shift it to the next week, the week of the 19th, because we're still doing fine in terms of time.
I'm available 16, 19, 20 for now.
All right. 16, 19, 20. Just give me a minute. 16, Friday, 16 April. Right now, it is horrifically clear. Any particular time of day, Leila?
No, this sort of time works. Any time of day. Once I put it in my diary, any time of day works.
Right. We traditionally have an EXCO meeting. So I would propose 11 to 1. No. Sorry. I have a COVID meeting as well that runs 12 to 2. How's 2 to 4, Leila?
Fine.
All right. LIASA elections. Rebecca, I know, do you have your diary there? Anna-Marie, what's in your diary for the 16th?
16th, it is wide open, just an elections meeting now. 2 to 4 on the 16th.
Rebecca?
I don't have mine. I'm using the very same gadget. I don't want to fiddle with it, but
sure.
I think I've just put it down 16th from 2 to 4. I think it will be fine. I think so. I hope so.
I'll keep it open then until you send a meeting request.
Sure.
All right.
Rebecca, if you could finalize it today still, please, that we can get it into Leila's diary and into my diary. I have it in here as provisional, so I'm sorted. But yeah.
I'm gonna just double check because I had a training that was moved to April. I just can't remember the date by heart.
No problem. So you sort, yeah.
And
if for some reason you can't make that time, I'm still free in the morning right now. And if necessary, we can move it, but then, yeah. So let's see how it goes. All right, colleagues, thank you so much, Leila. It's always fun meeting with you. Besides the fact that solid work always gets done, thoughtful work. Anna-Marie and Rebecca, same to you. Thank you for your contributions. Have a good weekend, everyone. Long weekend. I know it's still a long way to the long weekend, but still we live in hope.
Oh yes, one always looks forward to long weekends.
Yeah, I couldn't believe, I told somebody it's a long week. Monday is a public holiday. They didn't know. How can they not know? I mean, I know we're working from home, but still, you should know when you don't have to work a whole day. So yeah, and we are going to redeem our Christmas present. So we're going for couples massages. You might not see me on Tuesday.
Can I come with?
Yes, you can. I tell you later, I'm so worried between COVID and ESCOM that they're going to cancel the voucher. Anyway, so somebody wanted to meet on Monday evening, work-wise, and I said, no.
No.
When I
Oh.
come from that massage, I'm going to be so airy, you're going to get nothing out of me, or you're going to get everything out of me. Either way, it's not a good reason, not a good time to meet. Colleagues, thank you again for your time and your dedication and commitment to LIASA. I will see you in various forms and places, etc. Enjoy the rest of your day. Anne-Marie, please
Thank
keep
you,
me.
Nikki.
Be well, Leila.
Thanks, Leila. Thanks, Nikki.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
Rebecca.
Leila.
Thank you
Thank
for
you, Madam
organizing.
President. Thanks.
Rebecca, just hang back for a second, please. And
Okay.
Anne-Marie also. Rebecca, all those dates I gave you yesterday, they now need to
Yes.
be amended because of this Reading Summit story.
Yes.
So I have,
Bye.
yes, thank you, Leila.
Oh.
Be well.
Bye. Thank you.
Thanks, Leila.
Bye,
Bye.
Leila. Take care.
So Rebecca, we're just going to have to go back to the drawing board. You're just going to have to be patient. I'm sorry, and just wait on me because I need to rearrange my diary now. And I was thinking all night that I had filled my diary completely. I do need to leave spaces for other things potentially. So just please bear with me. I didn't forget our conversation at all yesterday. It just struck me afterwards that I need to be more sensible about assignment of dates, all right?
Are you going to be involved for the 3 days or just the one
they
day
asked
that
me
you
to chair.
facilitate?
They asked me to chair on the 25th
Yeah.
from 1 to 4, 1 to 5 or
Yes.
something. So, but those,
1 to 4. Yes.
yes, so I gave you dates. I gave that just one of the
Yes.
times I gave you. So we're going to have to sort that out again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So just leave it with me to as we agreed last night, to consolidate. All right. Okay.
Okay.
Anne-Marie, just keep me in the loop about the today and how it's going. And if I need to intervene, please call me on my telephone.
Sure. No, definitely we'll do that.
All right.
Rose should be here within the next half an hour and so. So then we'll just walk over to DAC.
All right. Okay. And remember what I asked about the IT stuff.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Super.
But
Thanks, both of
Nikki,
you. Be
but
well. Yes,
Nikki,
Rebecca.
sorry.
Yes.
Does that include for me to also hang on to the incoming EXCO meeting on the 29th?
No.
Or that I can drop to indicate when we can
Okay.
have
Are
it?
we going to go back now? Now we're going to use the 29th for the EXCO meeting.
No, that's what I'm saying. Should I stick to after the Easter?
Yes, stick to after Easter, please, for the
Okay,
EXCO meeting.
fine. That's fine.
Okay.
All right.
Because what comes up in the branch meetings, we feed into EXCO.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll wait
Right.
for your amendment. Thanks.
Sure. Thanks very much. Take care, colleagues.
Okay,
Thanks, you
thanks.
too.
Bye
Thanks.
then.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, Anne-Marie.